The story is told of a student at the Gush, a famous yeshiva, Har Etzion, in Israel, who during this time of year, in the weeks leading up to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, he was walking through the hallways of the building, and he heard a voice, and he followed the voice that he heard. And as he approached one of the classrooms, he realized that there was someone in the classroom that was rehearsing the davening, the services for the high holidays. And when he got closer, he looked and he listened carefully. He realized it was none other than Rav Amital. Rav Amital was the Rosh Yeshiva, the great rabbi of the institution, who also served as the Chazan. He was the one who led the services on the high holidays. And Rav Amital was known for really being very much getting his emotions involved as he led the services on the high holidays, showing much emotion as he read through the prayers, as he led the service and the singing. And as the student approached, he realized that Rav Amital, during his rehearsal, had the same drama, emotions, all the same flair. Everything was there in the rehearsal. And the boy, he was shaken up. He said, it's all fake. Everything that Rav Amital does on the high holidays, it's all just an act. It's all just a performance. He does the same thing 2 weeks beforehand when he's practicing in the classroom. So he musters up the courage, and the next day he goes over to Rav Amital, and he calls him out. He says, Rav Amital, I feel bad saying this, but I heard the Rosh Yeshiva, I heard you practicing yesterday. I don't understand. I thought it was authentic. I thought it was real. How could it be that, Rebbe, how could it be that you're practicing with the same emotions that you show on the high holidays? Doesn't it mean that it's all just an act? And Rav Amital responded. He explained to this student that it's actually the opposite. He said, if I show up on the high holidays and I'm opening the machzor after it gathered dust for the past year, he said, it's very hard for me to connect to the prayers. The only way that I'm actually able to lead the prayers in such a dramatic way is because I practice. It's because I spend time to look through the prayers beforehand, to think about what's taken place in the previous year, to think about what I'm praying for. And by doing so, that actually puts me in the proper mood so that when Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur arrive, I'm able to pray and really show that emotion. Most of us, or maybe all of us watching this video, don't lead the services on the high holidays. And maybe we can just show up Rosh Hashanah morning, Yom Kippur morning, and open our sitters for the first time. But I think that this lesson is really the one that we can learn from, even if we're not leading the service. That we shouldn't necessarily just show up on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, just show up and open our books. But really, this is the time of year, the month of Elul, to really think about what the high holidays are about, whether it's with the sitter or the machzor, or whether it's without the text. To think about what it is that we're praying for in the coming year. And by giving ourselves a moment, however much time we choose to devote, to think about the high holidays, to think about what we're praying for, I'm sure we'll have a much more meaningful service this year, and hopefully a Shana Tova Metuka, a happy, sweet year for all of us. I wish you all a wonderful Shabbos.